I'm back. Wagwan Popcorn and Onifasem Medea. Welcome back to another video of my ancestors' curls. If this is your first time joining, welcome to my channel. My name is Michaela, and I know from my loyal followers, I haven't posted in like a week. Your girl has been busy, but also right now, I don't know if you can hear it, I'm feeling really under the weather. But in today's video, I am going to be doing knotless braids on my sister. It's gonna be a different method of how we get the hair to look like it's knotless. It's not the traditional braid the hair and feed it, braid the hair, feed it, braid the hair and feed it. I'm gonna show you a different method for those who might be beginners and who wanna do knotless braids on themselves. So let's get into it. All right, so we got my sister's hair prepped and ready to go. I'm jumping right in and I am just creating my part. All right, so I start at the bottom and I'm going across her head to make sure that I'm getting a part. Once I have a somewhat desirable part, I use my butterfly clips to hold up the rest of her hair just to make sure that it doesn't get in the way of what I'm trying to do. Then I'm going back in once again, really trying to define that part and make sure that it is as even as can be, because we don't want crooked parts or just not parts that look clean, right? Then I'm gonna go in with my Shine and Jam. And the Shine and Jam, you know, it's a preference of what kind of jam you like to use to mold or slick someone's hair. But I like to run across the Shine and Jam on her scalp to make sure that I'm really defining my part. Using the rat tail comb to go back in and define the part is really helpful for me in just making sure that the part is as clean and as neat as it could possibly be. Then I'm creating my parts for what my box braids are gonna look like. I like to go in sections and I like to sort my entire row, and I don't really like to part as I go, just because for one, it seems a little bit faster to me and it's just a little bit more organized. Once I have my parts, I clip up each box braid or of what is going to be my braid. And then now you just see me going in, molding down her scalp and her hair just to make sure that it is as neat as it can possibly be. Once the product is on her hair, I like to use my edge brush and really just brush that product in. Once again, you're molding the hair into where you want it to go. This helps for an easier grip when you're trying to create your braid. Then you're gonna split your sections into 3 so that you can create your plait, create your braid, so that it's prepped and ready for when we crochet the hair in. And as you see, I'm packing in that product and just making sure that I have a good grip and that I am tightly braiding so that it looks natural. And as I'm braiding, you don't need to braid all the way down. You just want to braid down a few inches so that the hair can hold the braid on its own. Now you can take a look and see that my first row is done. It's neat, the parts are desirable, and then I'm going to continue to do this with the rest of the hair. So once again, I create my part that is somewhat desirable, and I take my Shine and Jam and I run it across her scalp just to create that look of the defined part. Going back in with my rat tail comb and really creating that part so that it looks neat enough for when we're creating the box braids. As I continue to make my way through the middle of her head, I'm keeping that same regimen of just applying the product and using my edge brush to mold down the part. This step is really important because you want to make sure that the braid is in the center. You don't want it to the left or too far to the right, too far up or too far down, because it's gonna reflect in when you crochet in the hair and start braiding, and it's not gonna look right. Okay, so here you can see that I switched up my technique in how I was braiding her actual hair. I want to say I started it like I was doing a cornrow, and then I just followed through. I found this to be a little bit more effective because I was able to get closer to her scalp, which allowed me to grip her hair a little bit tighter. And here we are about an hour later with all of the parts in her hair, and we are prepped and ready to go to start crocheting. So now I'm going to be taking my crochet needle. You want to make sure that the hook is open, and I am going to horizontally insert it into her hair. I purposefully take a smaller piece of hair and I go towards the end and make a U with my finger just so that all the hair can fit on the hook. I pull it through and I just play around with it to make sure that it is in the center for when we start braiding. Then I'm going to do the same thing. My apologies, my hand is covering it, but I stick the needle back through vertically, and then I take my second piece of hair, which is what you want to be a little bit thicker because that is what is going to blend your braid and cover it. I put the hair on the hook, and then I do the same thing again. I just close it, and then I pull it through. Now I'm going to go back in with my Shine and Jam. My Shine and Jam is what is going to help me to blend the hair and also just make it stick together because you don't want loose moving parts. So I'm going to take the braiding hair and I'm going to spread it around on her real hair just to make it blend a little bit more. You add as much product as you need and then you just start braiding. It's that simple. Just 3-strand braiding as you would normally braid your hair. And as I'm braiding, you can see that I'm trying to keep a really tight grip on her hair because I want it to be as neat as possible. But also the key to braiding is also adding product as you go. Once again, just making sure that the hair blends and that you don't want her natural hair sticking out when your braid is done. And this is what we are looking like so far, almost halfway through her head. Yes, I was super proud of myself. Thank you. All right, so here you just see me following the original routine of when braids are done. You want to put a towel over the person and you want to dip those braids into hot water. The purpose of doing that is to really just seal the ends of the braids, you know, because you don't want them to fall apart or unravel, whatever the case may be. And I also like to think of the hot water that burns loose ends, any like strangling pieces. So I just leave it in there for a second. She tilted her head back just to make sure that those ends were fully submerged in the hot water. And here I just went back in with my scissors to cut off any pieces that were still strangling because I want her hair to look as neat as possible. And then I went in with my mousse from Shea Moisture, frizz-free curl mousse. This was the only mousse I had at the time, so it had to suffice, okay? And this is low-key everybody's favorite part of videos. She jumped a little bit because it was cold on her head, but just the mousse helps to take away any frizz that still might be there and just helps the hair look really neat and very clean. So now I go in with my edge booster and I do her edges. Thank you. I didn't do anything too crazy. I just decided to do some simple swoops, and I did swoops that would go back into each part of a different braid. And when I tell y'all, doing edges, it could be my hair, it could be someone else's hair. Doing edges is really my favorite thing to do. It can be like my favorite part of any hairstyle because I really just be feeling like I'm in my bag, like I'm in my zone. Don't talk to me like I'm busy. I'm doing edges, okay? It could be the most simplest thing. It could be, you know, a little bit extra, but edges is what really be making or breaking a hairstyle. Like, you can have fresh braids. If them edges ain't done, you ain't looking right. Okay, like, come on, look at those. Look at them edges. Thank you. Period. All right, y'all, this is the final product. I think I did a great job, if I do say so myself, because I am very much still a beginner and it was only my second time. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.